It's a beautiful day in Western New York, and it's a day for some football. It's the home opener of the Buffalo Bills. And of course, you are watching the greatest Madden cast in all of Bills Mafia. I am Jake Jordan, joined as always by my broadcast colleague, Justice General. Justice, it's time for some football in Western New York. How we feeling today?
We are feeling absolutely amazing as we are here to see our Buffalo Bills again take on the Las Vegas Raiders, and our Bills coming off of a W last week in the Meadowlands. Pretty convincing win over the Jets. What are you expecting to see today from the defenses? They got to take on this guy over here, number 17, Devontae Adams.
I really feel that, this team, their defense still came out to play last week. They still let it was like 30 points get hung up on them. But I still think now in this simulation with the addition of Leonard Floyd this week, I think this defense is going to go absolutely after it this week. And Jimmy Garoppolo, that man right there, is going to be the one that's going to have to deal with it.
Jimmy Garoppolo making his second start here in Las Vegas after the Vegas went in a different direction from Derek Carr, who was their longtime quarterback. And the Raiders start the season 0-1 probably. So we'll see them take the field here for the first time today on our Sunday at 1 o'clock game because it's the Raiders. A kneel down in the end zone, and Jimmy Garoppolo gets his opportunity to come out and make something happen versus this vaunted Bills defense. And of course, this is the second game Sean McDermott calling plays. He is essentially the defensive coordinator. What can Jimmy Garoppolo do against this defense, Jake?
I don't know. We're going to have to see. This is one of the deepest secondaries in the league. And when it comes to pure pass rushing, the dudes that they have in this rotation that Sean McDermott likes to run are going to make it a really, really bad day for Jimmy Garoppolo, who has an offensive line that isn't really one of the best ones in the league, to put it nicely. So, he's going to have himself quite a day here.
What Jimmy Garoppolo does have is number 28, 17, and 13 to boot. We'll see if the Raiders can do anything with it. Here on the first play, the give is to 28, and he missed a wide open hole up the middle, runs into a tackler, and gets a yard on the play.
Yeah, and just as we're kind of getting everything set up here at the beginning of the Madden cast, this is a new year. That means some new things. So while all the rules are exactly the same, there's no pregame, no postgame. We are giving you the most action as fast as possible.
Jimmy Garoppolo with a clean pocket. He makes the throw to a covered Hunter Renfrow. That's an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up third long.
Yeah, and I mean, right there, that was just some really good defense. Like I said, throwing on this secondary is not going to be easy for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, they'll have no choice but to throw against this secondary on third long here. We'll see if they can convert. Adams in motion. He overshoots Renfrow, and that's going to be fourth down. That was a play that your NFL quarterback should be able to make, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, that feels like one of those textbook throws where you just put it in the breadbasket, and that man was about to get plenty of yards after catch. Just a ill-timed throw there by Jimmy Garoppolo, and now that's going to give the Bills a opportunity to get on the field.
After a very, very disheartening drive, the Bills will start from their own 34-yard line, and Josh Allen, former All-Pro. Bills didn't have the best ending to last year, obviously losing right here at home to the Bengals, but they got a W last week against a division rival. What are you expecting from them here in week 2?
Well, I mean, again, this offensive unit had themselves a day last week. I don't expect anything less of them. Opening up at home, that's just a different kind of energy. And if they had that type of performance away, I fully think that this team is about to have another explosive offensive performance here today.
The offense was really spread around last week. A lot of players had over 100 yards, so we'll see what they can do today. James Cook! On the first play!
He's gone!
James Cook with a 66-yard run on the first play from scrimmage for Buffalo. And that is a touchdown. Orchard Park is rocking.
I mean, look at all that took. One play and then boom, right to the end zone. James Cook putting his stamp down on that RB1 position. And man, let that man cook. Look at that. 77.9 yards on that run. You couldn't ask for a better start here at home to kick off your season.
After a short 3-and-out where the Raiders gained 1 yard, the Buffalo Bills gained 66 on
Wow.
on a 10-second drive after the touchdown by James Cook. Now, if you're the Raiders offense, you've got to be discouraged. Josh McDaniels here, he's been a head coach before. He's got his opportunity back again. Last year, the Raiders were extremely disappointing, and they're not looking so high here today.
Yeah, and I mean, you had to think that the connection that McDaniels has with Jimmy Garoppolo, and Garoppolo has played in a McDaniels style offense before. You'd think it's probably gonna, not be as much of a learning curve, but if you're trying to put it all up against the Buffalo Bills here, this is not the defense that you want to just be trying stuff out on.
So the Raiders will lose a net yardage of 3 on the return as they get it back out to the 22-yard line, and Jimmy Garoppolo will have to forget about that last drive, come back and try to make something happen because it's not looking great right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a huge punch in the gut. One play touchdown, man.
Trips left, and he completes a pass to his all-pro. Nope, that's not him. Excuse me. But he does pick up 3 on the play. That was Jacoby Myers on the catch.
Yep, former New England Patriot. You got to imagine those are the kind of plays that they're going to go for. They're going to go for those short over-the-middle throws to get into short yardage situations where they can then hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs and pick up those crucial first downs.
And Tevin Howard shoots into the backfield and gets the stop for no gain. And last year, those were the type of plays that Leslie Frazier's defense wanted you to take. Do you think this is going to be what Sean McDermott wants to keep everything out in front of his players?
I would think so, and he's going to want to be a lot more aggressive too, especially on these run stopping downs. As Josh Jacobs is going to pick up the first here. You need that. You need that aggressiveness. Leonard Floyd with his first tackle in this series of simulations as a Buffalo Bill.
And Leonard Floyd, a huge addition to the team this offseason. Von Miller tearing his ACL late last season. Looked like the Bills went from one of the best pass rushing teams to bottom of the barrel. And it looked like that's what they were going to be forced to continue to start this season, but they go out and sign Leonard Floyd to stand across from Gregory Rousseau as Jimmy Garoppolo finds Hunter Renfrow for a 6-yard gain. How important was the Bills signing Leonard Floyd for this defensive line?
It was hugely important because the one thing you can't be as a general manager of a football team is afraid to admit when you're lacking in some areas and that you cannot bet on certain players. Bringing in a Leonard Floyd is like a security blanket. When you bring a guy like that in, you're ensuring that when one dude goes down or one dude you're waiting to return from injury, he is going to be a name that can step up and still provide production in that role.
The Raiders having a nice little drive. They're obvious best of the game so far. They are almost to midfield. After the Josh Jacobs run for a first down there. How the Bills had a real problem with the run game last year. And we'll see how they fare against one of the best running backs in the league today. As the Raiders come on 5 wide, he finds Devontae Adams for 9 yards. How effective can Josh Jacobs be versus this front, or will we see something different with Sean McDermott calling the plays?
I think that this team is going to be prepared for Josh Jacobs in a way that they're going to, as we've seen before, when they go against big-name running backs outside of what Joe Mixon did to them in the playoffs, they're usually prepared especially we've seen it against guys like Derrick Henry. They come in prepared and not just let them rip off just multiple big chunks of yardage. They might get one or two in there, but it's going to be a focal point to absolutely stop that. So what we're seeing here right now is a whole lot reminiscent of what New England would do. Is just these nice short over the middle passes to set up their running backs in good position to pick up first down. They're chewing clock, moving down the field, and that's what you want to do. The longer you keep Josh Allen off the field, the better chance you have of winning this game.
And to your point, they do exactly that with a run by Josh Jacobs on the first play and then a short pass to Hunter Renfrow over the middle. And they gain 8 yards on the 2 plays combined to set themselves up for 3rd and short here.
It's
and
textbook, man.
Raiders come out in the I formation. It's a play action. He's got
Look at the
plenty
time.
of time. And he finds his. Oh, wow. That's a drop. I don't care what anyone says. That's a drop.
Yeah,
And
it's a
that
big
is a
hit.
heartbreaker.
It's a big hit by Tre'Davious White, but even here, if we can see a replay, I don't think they're going to give us one. But if you see, I mean, he needs to just catch. Oh, they're going to go for it here.
Oh, they're going for it. Wow.
Aggressive.
Come out in the I formation, and they give it to the fullback. They pick up the first down and more. That's an 8-yard run on a play where they only needed 2. That's a Raiders first down.
And that just goes to show you the Buffalo Bills are one of those teams that teams like the Raiders know, hey, if we're going to win this game, we cannot go down 7-0 and then give the ball back to Josh Allen when they just scored on us in one play. You know, that puts you in a terrible situation. So you got to be aggressive early.
So it'll be 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone here. The Bills defense last year was known for bending and not breaking. But again, this is a new play caller, at least. Supposedly new identity. We'll see how they fare here. And Josh Jacobs is running backwards. He's not going anywhere. First to the play was Matt Milano, all-pro Matt Milano, with a gang of other blue jerseys.
Yeah, and you kind of just saw Jacobs run into the back of his line, and he had absolutely nowhere to go. The Bills swallowed him up really quick. Boss.
Two-sided set for the Raiders here. And he finds Josh Jacobs out of the backfield, and he takes a hit from Trevin Howard. Trevin Howard, who wasn't even signed until early June, he's come in and he's really been a force these first 2 weeks here.
I guess so. I don't even know how the man ended up in the starting position here, but he's making the most of it in this situation.
Mookie called it. We'll see if it happens. Hunter Renfrow takes it down to the 11-yard line, and that is a Raiders first down. So after having struggled the first game, they are moving it pretty well here in the second drive.
Yeah, I guess the way those scripted plays that they had really didn't work out for them on that first drive. So now, you know, they're kind of just doing what they know works and what has worked for the last 20 years offensively with McDaniels.
Jimmy Garoppolo drops back the pass, and he completes it over the middle, and that is a 7-yard gain. And it'll put them at the 3-yard line to his tight end, Austin Hooper. So the Raiders knocking on the door here, trying to put some points on the board.
Yeah, and they've took almost 5 minutes off of the clock, too. This is exactly what they want to be doing if they score here, which they will.
There it is. Touchdown, Austin Hooper. So the Raiders tie up the game here in Orchard Park. They got punched in the mouth. They come right back, and they defend themselves. They punch right back.
Yeah, not sure what's going on defensively right there, but maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there between Dorian Williams and who was that? Was that Matt Milano there? So
chances are it's probably the rookie that made the mistake there.
That's the easy way. Yeah, that's the easiest way of looking at it.
The PAT is up. And it's good. We have a tie game here in Orchard Park. So, Raiders have some fight in them. Do you foresee the defense having some fight in them and maybe being able to slow down his offense on this drive?
It's a whole defense is a whole lot harder to play. I'll tell you that right now, especially against a team like the Buffalo Bills. One thing wanted to bring up is that newly signed and extended coach and general manager Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott. Here, Sean McDermott bringing a complete culture shift when it came to what the Bills were for almost 2 decades. Justice, any insight of just kind of what that means for this team going forward and what we should expect from Sean McDermott?
Well, you know, we can speak to people under 30 years old. We've never seen success in Buffalo, up until 5 years ago. And so a lot of people calling for McDermott's job, and it really doesn't make any sense. Uh, there's a winning coach in Buffalo, and you should be proud of that. And you have an all-time great quarterback who makes another fantastic play on his first throw of the game and gets it out to his best friend, Dawson Knox, for a 26-yard completion. See, in Buffalo, when you get to experience a good team every single week, that's something to be proud of. And Sean McDermott has granted one of the best cities in America with one of the best fan base in America. With that, for a half decade now, he deserved an extension.
100%. And with that, a brand new stadium as well. Everything is turning around and looking up for the Bills. And they're in it every single year.
So is their run game there. That was Damian Harris on what should have been a loss. He picks up 4 on the play. And those were the plays he was known for making in New England, Jake.
Of course. And if there's anybody that knows how Damian Harris is going to be utilized, it's probably going to be Josh McDaniels, who he was his main running back for almost 3 years.
A 2 tight end set. And speaking of 2 tight ends,
we finally see him.
Gets his first catch of his NFL career. The first round pick out of Utah, who was touted to be the freakiest tight end we've seen in a long time. He gets his first catch here in Buffalo. How much of a weapon can Dalton Kincaid be for this offense, Jake?
If utilized correctly, I mean, the amount of looks that you can give a defense to confuse them with that many different offensive weapons on the field, it's absolutely killer for this offense if utilized correctly.
Oh, Dawson Knox couldn't hold on to the ball on the sideline there. That was a pretty good throw, pretty good play. Almost completed. It was a great effort by Dawson Knox.
Oh, yeah, he goes up. He takes a shot, too, when he's coming down. But overall, just a play that didn't fall.
Josh Allen lines up under center to give edge to his young back. And he picks up 4 on the play. Now I'm sorry, Jake, he previously averaged 60 yards per carry, 66 yards per carry. Now he only averages 35 yards a carry.
Oh, man. Isn't that killer? Look at the drop-off. I guess James Cook really fell off, huh?
Josh Allen finds his man, and that's a first down. And that's Dawson Knox again. So Dawson Knox, very, very...
Yeah, really utilizing the tight ends here on this drive.
Very reliable here on this drive so far. All 3 catches are to tight ends. All 4 throws were to tight ends, as a matter of fact.
That can be a quarterback's best friend, is a really good pass-catching tight end.
As we know, most of the great quarterbacks that we can think of always had a great relationship with their tight end. Josh Allen lines up in the pistol formation. Play action fake. He's going to throw off his back foot, and he just misses Diggs in the back of the end zone. 17 is going to want that one back.
What are the odds they just go back to the huddle and say, hey, same play? Same play.
Do it again, 14.
Just do it again. 14. See how wide open that man was?
Dalton Kincaid back on the field as the Bills line up in a 2 tight end set.
Always.
Josh Allen drops back. He's scrambling.
He's running.
He's going to take off, and he slides down at the 18-yard line. for a pickup of 9 on the play. Great play there by Josh Allen.
Yeah, it was. And now, you set yourself up in a good position to just, I don't know, do whatever you want to do, I guess. I'd hand it off to James Cook right here, but, we know they can get a little creative, and they're not afraid to be aggressive on 3rd and 1.
And for the first time in a long time, I think the Bills might have an offensive line where you can run it up the middle, which they do. And James Cook maybe missed the hole there, but nonetheless, he picks up the first down.
Yeah, that's one thing, too, in the offseason, and I brought this up in the last game, is every single offseason we sit here and go, man, the Bills, we've upgraded the offensive line, let's go. But now it almost looks as if the guys that have been brought in to protect Josh Allen and the assets that have been drafted are way above what we've seen in years past.
Josh Allen just misses Dawson Knox there on the pass, but the Bills here in the red zone, knocking on the door to put points up on the board for 2 drives in a row.
Yeah, this first quarter's already flown by, hasn't it? It's I can't believe it's almost over already.
17 drops back the pass. They've got a screenplay,
and it didn't work.
Goes back to tradition. It doesn't work.
It's not gonna work.
Anyone that joined us last season knows that the Bills couldn't do a screenplay to save their life.
Nope.
And it looks like they're right back to it.
So, anytime you watch us, if there's a screen and you see us get any kind of excited for any positive yardage off of it, you will know it is a very rare occurrence here.
The Dable offense makes an appearance as Josh comes out in 5 wide. And he finds his man for a first down. Great play by Josh Allen there. That's a pickup of a lot of yards and a first down.
It's got to be around, maybe 15 to 17 yards there.
Yeah,
so
3rd and 13. Yeah, that was like 16, 17 yards. Who's that? Naeem Hines? Is he number 1?
Yeah. Changed his number, I believe.
The Bills down at the 3-yard line. This is where 17 is dangerous. Or this is where 22 is dangerous. Damian Harris with his first touchdown as Buffalo Bill. And the Bills do what they're supposed to do on 2 straight drives and put 7 on the board.
Let's see. I'm going to look something up here for us. I believe Naeem Hines. I was wondering, I thought he changed his number, but not to number 1. He will actually be the one player to utilize the new rules and actually be number 0 this year.
Okay.
But in the game, he's number 1 because I guess you can't set 0.
Not until probably 9-23, which we will have for you guys.
Oh, yeah, you guys are going to notice halfway through the season, too, everything's just going to bump up. It's going to look the exact same because it's, Madden, but
Jake is a great producer.
Yeah, and it's going to say Madden 24 instead, and you're going to be like, man, this is high-quality stuff.
Absolutely.
I am curious to see what just as a little rant here as we get ready for a kickoff, I am curious to see, they always change the presentation up between years, so I'll be curious to see what the new scoreboard and everything looks like. Yeah.
That was my favorite things about Madden as a kid, was the scoreboard changing. Different years and stuff.
I loved the ESPN 2K games too, man. I love ESPN scoreboards, especially ones from the mid 2000s. Man,
ESPN was way better than ESPN was way better live, absolutely. All right, the Raiders come out to start at their own 25-yard line, and they had a really good drive on the last drive, and they took a lot of time off. He goes off his back foot, but he throws in the vicinity of 17, which means it'll probably be caught. That's a great throw and catch there for a Raiders first down.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got a couple of really reliable weapons out on the field that he can go to at any point. And Jimmy Garoppolo, while he might not be the most athletic quarterback or anything of the sorts, you give him that kind of time and don't get that great of pressure on him, he's going to be able to pick you apart.
It'd be 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line, just approaching midfield. The Raiders come out under center, 28 in the backfield. Devontae Adams gets the carry.
And he stopped.
A.J. Epinesa, the 4-year man out of Iowa, gets a stop in the backfield, and that will be his first tackle for the loss of yards this season.
Yeah, A.J. Epinesa getting that first tackle for loss in. I believe he has 1 sack on the season. So that is, it's starting off again. Had a really quiet season last year, but put up, 7 sacks, 8 sacks? So, he still gets numbers.
And to your point, they keep proving Jake right as they keep with the short plays over the middle. Devontae Adams picks up
playbook.
Yep, nice little gain there as they create a 3rd and short for themselves. Yet again, the Bills have to find a way to stop the Raiders on these
look the way they're lined up. Okay. They're leaving the middle of the field wide open.
Over the middle, right to his star player, Josh Jacobs. And the stars for the Raiders making a lot of noise so far here early in today's game as the first quarter is coming to a close. Are they going to get a playoff?
Who's going to be in the playoffs?
They get a playoff, and a pretty good play there. 5-yard run from Josh Jacobs, and that will end the first quarter. The Buffalo Bills lead 14-7, and a pretty good game so far. The Bills obviously have less time of possession as their first drive was a 1-yard play for 10 seconds. But it has been a competitive game so far, and the Vikings are driving right now. Maybe this might be a closer game than we expected, Jake.
Yeah, it might be. And, I mean, if you look at the stats, somehow it's the complete opposite of what you thought might happen, is that the Raiders have more passing than rushing, and the Bills have more rushing yards than passing yards. We're living in bizarro world right now.
Definitely wasn't expecting that. Josh Jacobs with the carry, and that's a first down. The Raiders back in Bills territory here, and the Bills defense can't stop the Raiders up so far.
It doesn't seem so. It really looks like the Raiders have they're just going to keep doing the same exact thing over and over and over again until the Bills stop them. So if they don't, and you can keep getting points off it, why not? Just keep doing it.
It's like they've gotten into a little bit of a rhythm here as they come out trips left and Joe! Dorian Williams with the interception and foolishly runs right into the offensive lineman. He could still be running for 6 points right now, but nonetheless, a great turnover there by the rookie.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't understand. Why does that AI not just keep running forward? Who knows? But now that just gets Josh Allen back out on the field with a chance to possibly go down and go up by 2 scores.
All right. So the Buffalo Bills will start from their own 27-yard line just as the Raiders were driving. The Bills come out with an overload left. James Cook is the running back. I'm sorry, that wasn't James Cook. That was Lane Hires. The pass is complete to
Gabriel Davis.
Sure was. That's the 3-year man out of UCF.
I also want to give a shout out to Adam Silver. The NBA draft has just it has passed a couple of days ago at the time of this, and right now it's just like UCF for the longest time they got called Central Florida, but for the first time ever we had a top 10 pick from our basketball program, and they actually said UCF instead of Central Florida. As Josh Allen's running and invites the contact. So yeah, he said UCF, and that never happens. So big props.
Of course, we know UCF, I'm sorry, our very own Jake Jordan is one of UCF's finest. So, of course, that was a proud moment for him and his alma mater. As Josh Allen takes off down the field, showing why he is maybe the premier dynamic quarterback in the league. That's a good question, Jake. When you think about Josh Allen, I think it's fair to say he has a better arm than every running quarterback in the league. And I think it's fair to say, oh, wow, Dalton Kincaid with another great snag there.
Yeah.
And I think it's also fair to say that Josh Allen has better legs than every passing quarterback in the league. Is he the most dynamic quarterback in the NFL?
I would have to say so. And that's not just the homer take here, right? This is just purely off of athleticism and what he's able to do with his arm. The legs are slightly better than Patrick Mahomes. The arm and accuracy, I would say, is on par with a Patrick Mahomes. So he has that edge. Oh, and we got a
turnover going the other way. The second year, man, James Cook makes a very, very vital mistake there. We know the Bills don't take too lightly to those fumbles.
So we're going to see Damian Harris for the rest of the game, right?
Maybe. I think if it was Brian Daboll, that might be more of a possibility. We'll see how Ken Dorsey handles the situation. So we got back-to-back turnovers while in the other person's red zone here in today's game after a very entertaining first quarter where points galore. So far, we've got a defensive second quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, who would have guessed it, right? We come out of the first quarter and we're like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to see this game keep going back and forth, and now these defenses are deciding to have themselves a day.
And Devontae Adams having himself a day, that's an 18-yard pickup. Just as you thought the Bills could potentially be going down and scoring for 20 to make it 21-7 and maybe be on the verge of putting the game away, those are the bonehead mistakes that this team made last season that prevented them from being maybe the best team in the league and potentially Super Bowl champions.
You can only shoot yourself in the foot so many times before you fall over. So that's
a great line, Jim. The Bills definitely fell over. Jimmy Garoppolo showing the legs there, running out of trouble and throwing the ball away, moving a little faster than I would have expected.
Yeah, a little bit, and right there, just a good decision to get that out of there. Right now, we're going to kind of see here this Buffalo Bills defense. Are they finally going to try to put a little bit more pressure on the middle of the field here and kind of disrupt what the Raiders have been doing to them this whole quarter?
Great game tackle there by two of the newer Bills, Trayvon Howard and Dorian Williams. Dorian Williams, the rookie, getting a lot of burn here. A lot of people didn't think that he could be the Mike, but he looks like he's doing pretty well on the field right now, Jake.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at how light the room kind of is, too, of names that could possibly go in there, it wouldn't surprise me if actually outside of this simulation that were to be something that happens this year, too.
The pressure from A.J. Epinesa and Greg Rousseau got there and was able to just make the throw off balance there to Devontae Adams, and the Raiders will be forced to punt here as they were just approaching midfield. A great stand there from the Buffalo Bills defense.
And they needed it. They really did. Let's see this. This is a...
That's going to be a touchback. And James Cook is coming back onto the field. I guess when you get a 66-yard rush, you can get a fumble. You can get a fumble.
You're allowed just one. It's like a mulligan.
Just one.
You know? Okay, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll let that one slide. We'll let that one slide.
So, fresh start here for James
here we
Cook.
go.
Oh, nope, he's not even on the field. Excuse me. Josh Allen comes out with the 5 wide, and he's getting blitzed He's got him, man. That's UCF's finest. Gabriel Davis with another catch. Gabriel Davis getting a lot of flack for not potentially being a good enough number 2 for this offense. What are you expecting from Gabriel Davis this year? Do you think he has what it takes?
I think he does, and that's only because when you look at kind of his utilization and where his percentage of routes go on the different trees and where his success comes from, hopefully he is utilized in more of routes that go towards the sideline, which, as we've seen right there, comebacks and going to the sideline, that's kind of the bread and butter. So I really do think if he's utilized correctly, Gabe Davis is more than a great option for your wide receiver team.
We'll see how he performs this year. The Bills are
Mhm.
loaded with talent as they have Stephon Diggs and newly acquired uh, phenom Dalton Kincaid, and we'll see how he matches up with Dawson Knox as he gets it out to his favorite target, Stephon Diggs, with I believe his first catch in there for first down.
Yes, yes, first catch of the game. Not his first target, but the first catch. And I mean, he had that defender draped all over him, and Josh Allen just hit him right in the numbers there. And that was just a great throw and a great catch by a very big dynamic duo here in the NFL.
And that is one of the things that you love about having an elite quarterback wide receiver combo. They'll be able to trust each other and make those tough plays happen there. Josh drops back to pass. He's just overshoots Deontay Hardy. Looked like he had a man over the middle, but he took a shot there down the right sideline.
Yeah, and sometimes they take those shots down the sideline too. If maybe they see there's a little bit of contact, corner's getting a little bit handsy down there, and maybe they try to throw the ball in that direction to get the refs to maybe try and make the call.
Josh,
Plenty of
plenty
time.
of time. He's going to step up. He's going to run, and he's going to fall just short of the first down. Not mad at that. Good pickup by Josh Allen and protecting himself. Would have liked to see maybe get a half inch more, but that's okay.
It was great protection by the offensive line too, giving Josh Allen to have the time there to absolutely go through all of his reads, see nothing was open, and then have that hole big enough to just run right through and possibly almost get that first down.
James come back to play action. Josh Allen gives it back to Cook, and he picks up the first down. That's a pick up of 44, as he takes it down to the 40. Epps with the tackle.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw too a couple of days ago, Dalvin Cook reaching out when they were talking. Those pictures came out of all of the players in their jerseys, and he said that James Cook's going to be the man. So it's kind of looking like it here today. Buffalo really utilizing the second-year man.
James Cook looked a lot like his brother last season. We'll see how he looks with another year under his belt as Josh Allen goes down. For the first time today, Tillery with the sack. The Bills lose 5 yards there. The Bills have been relatively good protecting Josh Allen so far, but Spencer Brown got beat there.
Yeah, he did, and I mean, it's been glaringly obvious, at least these last 2 weeks, that even though the Bills' offense has been very productive, when you actually go and look at plays by play, you'll see that Spencer Brown is the obvious weak link, at least right now in this simulation on the offensive line.
He certainly has looked that way. He's been the only one allowing any kind of consistent pressure. Josh Allen, quick throw over the middle there. Great play by the Bills. Pick up about half of the yardage back, and that'll make it third manageable.
Yeah, and right here, that just gives you that freedom. You don't go for the giant big shot down the field unless it's truly open. And right now, you set yourself up in a better position to better convert this first down and keep this drive alive.
Ken Dorsey looks like he's having a pretty good showing so far. We'll see if they're able to keep it up all season and throughout the postseason. Josh Allen finds his man over the middle, and that is a whoa.
It looked like he
bad
was
spot.
Yeah, it looked like he was over the line to me.
Trent Sherfield with the catch. he needed to get to the 30 to pick up the first down. He looked like he got there,
he
but they're
fell
going to
over
him just short.
Yeah, the AI marking him, where his animation started of him falling down, when in real life he would have been over and got that first down. And we're going to see Tyler Bass for
And the
this.
Bills, with one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, on 4th and inches at the opponent's 30, decide to kick the field goal. So it is up and it is good, and the Bills take a 10-point lead.
The Bills are making Tyler Bass kind of work for that contract a little bit. They're like, we're not going to just give you all extra points. Even though Josh could fall forward literally and he could sneeze and get that inch, we're going to make you go out there and earn that contract a little bit.
And he did get the extension and deserved it. And right there, showing off why he makes the big bucks. So, after a turnover, the Raiders come back onto the field. Nope, the last one was a 3-and-out, but we do get a return here. He takes it out to the 25-yard. The 25-yard. Bad spots all around here today.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo comes back. He definitely didn't get to the 25-yard.
Yeah, and a little Bills tidbit that I actually saw earlier this week is that, did you know that former Bills kicker Ryan Lindell only missed one extra point in his entire career?
Really? I remember hating Ryan Lindell. That's shocking.
One extra point. I think he kicked 436 extra points and made 435.
Shout out to number 9, Josh Jacobs. Great penetration there by A.J. Epinesa. He allowed that play to happen, as Josh Jacobs was clearly trying to get outside.
Yeah, and I mean, you just kind of see the patience there, and he waits, and he tries to get to the outside, and Epinesa's just right there waiting. So that's just good patience, and that's what you learn when you've been in the league for a while.
Jimmy Garoppolo is in the gun.
Oh,
he finds his man, A.J. Austin Hooper, and he takes it into Bills territory. Jimmy Garoppolo, you could tell he was feeling the pressure because of the question mark over Austin Hooper's face. But his crowd is very loud. Dorian Williams just got jumped over, and maybe picking on the rookie a little bit there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. He looked very confused out there, and I guess he saw that giant question mark pop up too and was like, whoa, that's weird.
Jimmy Garoppolo drops back the pass. Oh, that was dangerous. But he was able to complete it to his favorite target, number 13, Hunter Renfrow, for 7 yards on the play.
Yeah, and there it is again, just a nice short little throw, and now they can do whatever they want here with Damian Harris, or they can take another shot here throwing it, which it looks like we're probably going to get.
5 wide. The Bills getting pressure. He throws it long and had a man, but he just missed him as he throws it. It looked like he might have been throwing it away, honestly. Poona Ford with the pressure. Another huge defensive signing this offseason. The Bills making a lot of sneaky good pickups, and Poona Ford was one of them.
Yeah, a lot of sneaky good ones where they don't make you go, oh, the Bills are going all in this year, but it is a sneaky all-in situation.
Great play from All-Pro Matt Milano as he stops him behind the line to gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. We'll see if they go for it or if they take a field goal here. Looking at the signings, Jake, I know that these guys signed for cheap, but couldn't you look at it as the Bills going all in this year? I mean, Leonard Floyd could have got signed for a lot more money. And if the Bills would have signed him for a lot more money, I think it looks like a bigger signing than what it was.
And they get the 4th down stop. Poona Ford. There it is. Who else? Like we were saying, are the Bills going all in? Poona Ford, another guy who took a cheaper deal to come play and try to contend for championships with the Buffalo Bills. And right there, you're already seeing he's making his impact and earning that money. Right now, the Bills, like we said, it's a sneaky all-in situation. They're not going to be in a situation where 2 years from now, they've got no cap space and they're rebuilding. but they're putting all of the assets possible that they can into making this team the best version of itself that it can be without jeopardizing their future. And that's what the good teams in the NFL do.
Absolutely agreed. Taking a look at these signings, if Poona Ford was to make $60 million this offseason on a long-term contract, nobody would be shocked.
Nope.
If Floyd was to make $80 million this offseason on a long-term contract, nobody would be shocked. If McGovern was to make a lot of money this offseason, nobody would be shocked. They got all these guys, and they got them on cheap deals, and then you go and you add players like Trevin Howard and these players that are going to make an impact for you, and maybe aren't looked at as such amazing products, but when you pair them with a Josh Allen, Deontay Hardy looks a lot better, and Trent Sherfield looks a lot better. Damian Harris looks a lot better. It just looks like a very competent offseason here for Brandon Beane, another one, as the Bills look to get the first, as they do get the first down here on third and short, back to Gabriel Davis for a first down.
And
but
I want to
competent offseason. Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to add on to that to say, a lot of people might not think that this Bills team has changed at all, but the wide receiver core, at least from wide receiver 1 and 2 and then down, is completely different. There's multiple new starters on the offensive line, possibly. There's going to be multiple assets thrown into the defensive line and in that rotation. And the secondary got some boost too. It's not the same old team. This team has made big strides this offseason.
Oh, just out of the reach of his receiver. He looked like he had plenty of time, and the receiver looked open.
Yeah, it looked
really
like
sure why he couldn't connect there.
It looked like Dalton Kincaid, to be completely honest with you. Just don't think he was able to get his feet in bounds.
The give is to Cook, and he's met in the backfield immediately by 2 Raiders, and that's a loss of 3 on the play. That is Chandler Jones on the tackle.
Yeah, and I guess that was another thing that we didn't bring up too, is the running back room for the Bills too is almost completely different. So,
Damian Harris. Who's the other side?
Latavius Murray, right?
Latavius Murray. I forgot about Latavius Murray. That's right.
Crazy, right? That he's RB4 kind of in everybody's mind.
Which is amazing in the grand scheme of things. So Josh Allen didn't see anything. Was able to pick up something to maybe make a field goal attempt possible. We'll see if Sean McDermott is able to pull the trigger. Now, this would be where Tyler Bass earns his money, and he's fully capable of making these types of field goals, Jake.
Yeah, he is, but they're going to have Sam Martin earn his contract by giving his 1 punch every 3 games.
That was terrible. That was a really bad punt.
He had a bad punt last week, too.
That was also a really bad decision. The second bad decision by McDermott so far in this game.
That's that's giving me flashbacks of Corey Bojorquez with those shanks, man. It's crazy when you go through that too. Corey Bojorquez, he'd cough and corner it, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, he's the best punter ever." And then he
kicked so far. Whoa. Josh Jacobs dragging people here. Not had a great game so far. 12 rushes for 39 yards, which is kind of really bad, but he does drag a couple of Bills there. Should have been tackled in the backfield, was able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and we're hitting the 2-minute warning here, so of course we have to remind everybody that there is no halftime. So we're literally going to go right from the second, boom, right into the third quarter. We're going to keep this action going as the Raiders try to score here again before heading into the half to make this, a easier game.
Incomplete pass there on second down, so that'll bring up third and short. And this is a pretty crucial play here for the Raiders. You want to get some points before you go into the half, and you definitely don't want to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands before the half. But they do pick up the first down to all reliable number 13, Hunter Renfrow. Less than 2 minutes here on the clock. We'll see if they hurry up or not.
Yeah, they need to, because if you can catch the Bills and get a score before they have enough time to go back in and make adjustments, plus they get the ball to start the second half, this is a crucial drive for the Raiders.
No huddle play here for the Raiders, and Jimmy Garoppolo's
Big
going
shot.
deep.
Ooh, so there's a flag.
Austin Hooper with the incomplete pass. Oh, Kyer Elam gets caught with a pass interference. That's going to be
wow.
a backbreaker for the Bills defense here. You talk about needing some points before a half, and that certainly helps.
Wow, and in real life, that's when Christian Benford gets put in the game for the rest of the game.
Seriously. Josh Jacobs picks up a nice little chunk there on first down, and the Raiders no longer in a hurry. They can let the clock run a little bit.
Yeah, they can. I mean, there's no rush here on that 4-yard line. I mean, they're in complete control right now.
Yeah, and they call a timeout for some reason.
I guess they said, well, I can't take them into the second half, so might as well use one.
Yeah, because we want to give Josh Allen more time. Great.
Yeah, but if they score right here, you know, you're giving Josh Allen and these Bills plenty of time.
Yeah. Listen, bad coaching to go around here today. Madden just dropping the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo drops back the pass. He's getting blistered. He's getting caught. That's all pro quarterback Tre'Davious White, this 7-year man out of LSU.
Wow.
Who missed a portion of last season with a torn ACL. Was able to get his first sack of the season.
It's really been 7 years, huh?
I think so. Something like 6.
Crazy.
And Hunter Renfrow drops the ball in the end zone. That is a season-changing drop right there.
Yeah, he had it right there too, and now they're going to have to settle with 3. And they give the ball back to the Bills with 3 timeouts left, and the Bills have a chance to double dip. That's dangerous here for the Raiders.
You score a touchdown before half against one of the premier teams in the AFC, make it a 3-point game going into the second half, give yourself a better opportunity. That could give you the confidence to propel for the rest of the season. But then, when one of your better players on your offense drops the ball that is in the palm of his hands on on third down, now you got to go in down by a full score and get it back off to Josh Allen with time to boot and 3 timeouts.
They're going to need their defense. They're going to need their defense to step up here and keep it a 7-point game. Because their defense is then going to have to come out and try to stop Josh Allen twice. So,
Naeem Hines takes a knee in the end zone, and the Bills will be out to the 25-yard line. Just under a minute left in the half with 3 timeouts. The Bills should be able to get points on the board here, Jake. The Chiefs were able to do it in 13 seconds with 2 timeouts.
Always got to bring that back up. Always got to open up the old wounds. But they were able to. We've seen the Bills with 48 seconds scale the field before.
Whoa! What a throw there from Josh Allen. Just lofted it over the defense and put it in the breadbasket for 88. And he gets out of bounds to get to save your timeouts. That's a heck of a play to start the drive.
Yeah, just had that little bit of touch on it. Little bit of touch right there. Boom. And then Dawson Knox did the oh-so-great frozen animation, which is great. I love that celebration.
Yeah, he definitely did that on purpose. It was totally purpose.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't Madden at all. Say, a first down here. And, I thought they were running it. Josh Allen. Deontay Hardy up the sideline. He breaks a tackle. And a timeout there. And just like that, the Bills are in Raiders territory. And times like now is where that drop by Hunter Renfrow really, really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, who could have called it, right, that this was going to happen? We've seen the Bills do it time and time again. You leave them that much time with 3 timeouts, they're a team that can make you pay in under a minute.
Josh Allen gets the snap. He goes over the middle. He's got a man. That's Deontay Hardy again. And now the Bills call a stupid timeout. Just under 30 seconds left in the half. They could have let the time run a little bit.
They could have, but, you know, they kind of want to have enough time to set up and kind of figure out what they want to do, game plan a little bit, because right here, you know, at 1st and goal, you got yourself a couple of tries, so let's see what they go with here.
1st and 10 from the gun. Josh is going to throw. And
Easy.
Got a man over the middle. His best friend, Dawson Knox, with the touchdown.
Yeah, it's looking like just looking like a tight end U practice out here with how many times Josh Allen's been targeting them.
It certainly does. I wish Madden had the awareness to pan to Hunter Renfrow after that touchdown, because they certainly should have. It's his fault that this is happening.
We need that shot. That's the producer in us. We're like, we need that shot.
Yeah, I know, right?
I want to see him be angry.
Yeah, that's the producer in us. So the Bills take a 2-touchdown lead here with 24 seconds left in the half. The Raiders will come back onto the field with 1 timeout. You have to wonder if the Raiders thought that they'd be in this position just over 30 seconds ago, or just under 30 seconds ago, when they first gave the ball to the Buffalo Bills. They didn't think that the Bills would have a full 7 points in 30 seconds.
So I'd say, did you see Gilliam out on defense?
That was special teams.
Oh, okay. Whew. All right, for a minute there, I got a little confused because I'm the one who sets the rosters up for this. So I'm like, when did I put the fullback in on defense?
Maybe should have let the ball bounce into the end zone there.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs not having a good day today. He's averaging just 3.3 yards a carry. And really hasn't gotten much from his offensive line. As you pointed out earlier, the offensive line has been not great for the Raiders so far, or in the past season. And do you think the Raiders even try on this drive?
I don't even know. Let's see here. They're probably just going to run this clock down.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
They're going to take it into the half, where we're going to see, you know, immediately you're going to be like, wow, we're in the 3rd quarter already. So, you know, just wait till that pops up right now. Wow, it's the 3rd quarter.
Thank you guys for tuning in to our halftime show.
As do you remember when
you used to back live here?
Do you remember when they used to skip the halftime show or whatever in Madden, and coach would be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, that was quick or something.
Yeah, that was quick or something like that. I don't even know if they do that anymore. But that was.
I don't think so. Well, I don't play with the audio on anymore, but
yeah.
So
you used to be like, well,
double dip opportunity here for the Bills, as they're going to get the ball back, and what looked like a competitive first half turned into maybe the beginning of a rout here, as Nyheim Hines takes it out to the 21-yard line and gets loaded. That was a big hit there from the Raiders.
Should have got down there, man. He was just trying to get as many yards as possible and got absolutely destroyed. Maybe we would have just taken the L on that one and went down.
So the Bills come out looking to put more points on the board. Josh Allen's had a really good game. He hasn't really made any mistakes. James Cook has the fumble, but outside of that, the Bills have been pretty flawless as he finds his man, and he's having himself a day. Dalton Knox is absolutely reeling right now. He has Josh Allen has 4 or 5 incompletions. He's got over 200 yards passing. Dawson Knox has had at least half of the receiving yards today. 70 yards, so almost half.
Yeah,
he's got 70 yards on 6 receptions. The Bills just look really good as they come out 5 wide.
Yeah, it really looks like they found their groove, and it's something that you want to see from this team, knowing the offensive production that they can put out. So you kind of look at what you want Ken Dorsey to do as an offensive coordinator. You want him to take that step, as we saw last year. He really took that step outward and, didn't really adjust towards the later end of the season. So right now everything looks all good, but the real test is going to be, all right, week 8, week 9, when those teams really have enough tape on what you're doing now.
Again, Mr. James Cook who finds the crease up the middle.
He teleported a little bit.
That's a first down. The Bills approach midfield.
Watch this.
They didn't show it.
No, he just, he hit the defenders and then, glitched forward out of it. He didn't even do an animation to shrug them off or anything. So he teleported a little bit.
The Bills come out on first down, and the gate is right back to Cook, who finds another crease up the middle. Cook averaging more than 10 yards a carry as he approaches the century mark here early in the third quarter. That's an 8-yard gain.
I'm wondering now, is this the new way that the Bills are going to play? We saw them do the same exact thing against the Jets last week, where they got up big at the half, and then in the second half, while they had a multi-score lead, they just handed the ball off to James Cook.
Well, when James Cook can do absolutely whatever he wants, why not? That's a pickup of 6 and a Buffalo first down.
Is that a winning philosophy, though? I guess, you just keep doing what you're doing if you're not up going into halftime, or you make adjustments to it. But it must be really nice to get up really big at halftime and then just run the ball down the other team's throat. As Bills fans, we haven't been able to really experience that very often because we don't run the ball even when we have big leads.
Exactly. And the game is right back to Cook, who finds another crease up the middle. That'll take him over 100 yards as they picked up 12 on the carry. James Cook looking like his older brother out there.
He is, and I mean, if you can finally have a running back that you can lean on and say, hey, we're just taking down the clock as best we can, and we are just relying on you to get these crucial yards so that we can just keep that clock running. I mean, you do it, and if he can be that guy, you go ahead and just lean on him all the way.
1st and 10 on the Raiders' 25-yard line. Josh Allen is alone in the backfield. He's going deep. Oh! Tough catch there from Deontay Hardy. He isn't able to hold on to it. That was a great effort there from both Josh Allen and Hardy. The Bills weren't able to convert well there, now to make a second ball.
Yeah, takes a big shot right there, too, as he's coming down. That defender wasn't going to let him come down with that ball.
Josh Allen drops it down to his man. Oh, I guess he stepped out of bounds. 9-yard pickup on the play for 14 on the second catch of the game.
I say this is James Cook territory again, Justus.
We shall see. One thing the Bills weren't able to do in the past was run it straight up the middle with short yardage, but as we saw last week and most of today, they have been able to. Reggie Gilliam.
Why?
Just falls short to the first down. Josh Allen got hit. Maybe should have threw it a smidge earlier, and he might have been able to cut out field for the first down. We'll see what the Bills do here on 4th and 1. But
did you see?
You
see Dion Dawkins? I don't know if you saw him on that replay. That man was just standing there while the whole play is going the complete different direction. It's looking like.
And the Buffalo Bills are going to kick a field goal here on 4th and 1 at their opponent's 16 with the best quarterback in the world on their roster. 6 or 5 could fall forward and get a yard. Tyler Bass, the kick is up and it's good. Maybe trying to make him earn his money, although when it was a 54-yarder, they could have given him the opportunity to earn his money, but they didn't. So Sean McDermott making a lot of questionable play calls here, and it really doesn't matter in the context of today's game. But in these moments in the postseason, these are crucial, and it's been a weak spot of his.
Yeah, I would say that even in the playoffs, in a situation like that where you're 31, and if you're playing a team in the playoffs, they're there for a reason, right? So every game's going to be a really good or close game with the competition. That's where you go for it, and you just try to put another nail in that coffin, man. You go for 7. Don't just go for 3.
I completely agree.
Good. That makes me happy.
You have an offense that's made for scoring. Use them to score. 1st and 10 here from their own 25-yard line. The Raiders need to make something happen fast as they find themselves down by 3 scores. Jimmy Garoppolo dumps it off and threw it maybe a little too hard as Devontae Adams wasn't able to cut it upfield. Gain of only 1 on the play.
A couple of weapons, too, going down the field had those question marks pop up above their heads, which means they were a little confused. So that play altogether just didn't really work out for the Raiders.
Raucous crowd here in Orchard Park, which is why you see the question marks over their heads as Jimmy Garoppolo cannot find a man, and he throws it away, which maybe could have been intentional grounding.
Yeah, I don't think they call that in Madden.
Oh, they call it intentional grounding. He might have stepped just outside the tackle box, though. They do.
Maybe.
3rd and 9. Pretty important play here for the Raiders offense if they want to make any shot in this game. And Jimmy Garoppolo just throws it away. And the Raiders will punt yet again. It's a little early, to suggest that a white flag is being thrown, but it's definitely getting put on the sails.
Yeah, and I mean, right there, too, you see Jimmy Garoppolo. He just has Leonard Floyd bearing down on him. That offensive series altogether was just not only was it the Bills defense, but it's this amazing crowd here in Orchard Park just absolutely disrupting players and not knowing exactly where they need to be. That's just the home field advantage of playing here in Buffalo. That's what makes home games great for this team.
Josh Allen has had almost a flawless game here today. He's got a rating of over 130 so far, and he'll start from his own 26-yard line. Having a run game, a competent run game at his disposal has seemed to make him 100 times better here. As James Cook runs it up the middle, can't find a lot, but he still does find a pretty decent game with 3 on the play. He's averaging 10 yards to carry, Jake.
Yeah, Buffalo 401 total yards of offense already here today, and they've only got 27 points. A couple of those have come down as just field goals, and they drive down the field, but right there is Dawson Knox is going to catch that one out of bounds. It's really important here in Justus. I got to ask you, we've talked about some of the additions that Buffalo has made on the offensive line. Thinking of all the offensive lines that Josh Allen has had in his career, would you say this one's one of the best?
On paper, certainly. This would be by far the best, to be honest. As he throws it short to his back, Naeem Hines, who isn't able to pick up the first down. So the Bills will come right back out and punt. I have to say that this is by far the best offensive line he's ever had on paper. He's got some reliable depth. He's got a humongous rookie who hasn't allowed a sack his entire collegiate career. And it's looking like this is going to be a really good offensive line for the Bills this year. As they've shown so far, they've given James Cook the best day of his career.
Yeah, exactly. And, we're hoping to see that more in actual real life. That's what we're hoping is the one thing that the Bills have always seemed to lack is a truly dominating run game where if they need to turn it on, they can really do that and take advantage of a game. and kind of keep stepping on their opponents. Right now, they can do that. They have done it when it's on, but sometimes when that passing game's not clicking, you need a really good run game to rely on.
And the Raiders using their really good run game. Josh Jacobs running through Bills defenders there to pick up 8 on the play.
That man at halftime went in and looked at his stats and said, hey, I got to get these things up, man. I'm only averaging whatever it was, 3.3.
2nd and 8 here. Play action pass. He gives it to Austin Hooper, who's taken down immediately by Teron Johnson. All pro Teron Johnson. Is he all pro? I think he's all pro.
I don't know. I think he was a Pro Bowl.
Maybe all
right?
Pro Bowl.
I think he made a Pro Bowl.
He should be all pro. Very good nickel corner, Teron Johnson. I don't think nickel get their own Pro Bowl slot.
No, they
should.
don't.
Josh Jacobs on the sweep.
There's
Can't pick up the first down. He's going to lose a yard. That's the captain, Jordan Poyer, on the stop.
And what a great, not addition because he was already on the team, but just what a great signing to keep Jordan Poyer here in Buffalo. We always have talked about, again, one of the most underrated safety duos in the league for some reason. Even though the consensus is they're one of the best, they never seem to really get that credit until just a couple of years ago. They were named first and second team All-Pro.
And they are the best safety duo in the NFL and have proved that for the past half decade, and they're proving it again here today. Naeem Hines doesn't seem to want to return these punts as he fair catches it again. Josh Allen will come back out onto the field. The Bills had a 3-and-out on their last drive, which I guess really is inconsequential when you're up by 17 points, but we'll see if they can make something happen on this one.
Yeah, we really need to be able to see that Ken Dorsey, when you go into halftime and you got to make these adjustments, you know, he can battle whatever defensive coordinators are going to throw at him. So we're hoping to see that the Bills here don't repeat that performance of 3-and-out.
Gabriel Davis with another catch here. We talked earlier about if Gabriel Davis was going to be good enough this year to be a consistent wide receiver too. Well, Jake, he has had a phenomenal game last week. He's having another good one today.
And the sad thing about it is it's not going to matter how many good games Gabriel Davis has. What's really going to matter is how many balls does he drop, because apparently that's the only metric that matters.
Josh drops off the pass. He's running outside of the pocket. Ooh, Dawson Knox with another catch. Getting a little physical there on the sideline.
Yeah, you know, starting to talk a little bit. I don't know why the Raiders be talking. They're down by 3 scores. So, you know, they can talk all they want, but they got to, you know, they got 1 stop or 2 stops in this entire game.
Josh, he's got time. He's going deep. Ooh, can't complete it to Mr. Sideline himself. But that does bring up third management here with just under 7 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah, big shot right there, and Gabe Davis just out of bounds, you know, by the time that ball got there, and a defender pushing him out. So there he goes.
And he redeems himself, getting the first down there. Just shy of midfield, Gabriel Davis, averaging just under 10 yards of reception. That's a Buffalo first down.
Yeah, that's an interesting story about Gabe Davis, too, is when he was being recruited to some schools in Florida, they wanted him to transfer and actually become a tight end because of how big he was. But he was very adamant on wanting to be a wide receiver and is now one at the NFL level.
And Gabriel Davis, thought to be on the slower end for wide receivers, but he is very sneaky fast, as he's shown that last season, having multiple plays and instances which he was able to get behind corners and the defense overall. Josh Allen with a great run there, not sliding, taking some dishing out some physicality
Yeah.
and some pain there, breaking 2 tackles before he was finally taken down at the 40-yard line.
It's second half Josh Allen. We saw it last week too. He's sliding in the first half, but in the second, he invites that
Yeah, that's true.
contact so that the game can make him fumble whenever they need to.
And Stephon Diggs, just like he was doing last week, taking some ankles. That's a 9-yard pickup on his third catch of the game.
Yeah, legend says that those ankles are still sitting on MetLife Stadium, so waiting for their people to come pick them up.
There's a lot of ankles there because he took about five pairs.
There's a lot of ACLs there too on that MetLife turf.
For sure. 7th and 14 is the culprit. 2nd and 1 here inside of the Raiders territory. Josh Allen's going to keep it, and he picks up the first down. Not very much on the play, though. When you look across the board, it looks like the Bills, almost all their players have averages of 10 yards per carry, per reception, per rush. Just, it's a lot of 10-yard intervals here on this offense when you look at the statistics.
Very, very efficient.
Very efficient. And that'll end that streak there as James Cook picks up 3 yards on the carry. Take it up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah. Man, I just got to say, too, that the Madden cast this year, this is a big year for the Buffalo Bills. When you look at these two teams here, you really got to think that, one of these years coming up has to be the year that the Bills break through.
And a lot of people believe it'll be this year, and maybe it will be. And wouldn't it be nice to be the same year that Josh Allen is named the Madden EA NFL cover athlete? So for Madden 24, you will see that beautiful face on your cover and those beautiful, vibrant blue and red of the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to love
it'd be nice to see them
there.
Just right on cue.
There,
just like
I told you. That's why they do it. That's why they do it.
That's going to be Josh's first fumble of the game.
I'm going to love every single Dolphins fan and Jets fan and Patriots fan and Chiefs fan when they have to go pick up Madden and they have to have Josh Allen on their shelf or next to their PlayStation or Xbox.
Or staring at them on every home screen.
Yeah. He will be staring at you every single time. And when it loads up, they're going to have that graphic of Josh Allen absolutely running people over.
Or jumping over defenders.
And jumping over people. They're going to have to see it every time they boot up Madden. It's going to be great.
Ooh, and the Bills stop a screenplay.
No
Big Eddie Oliver. And who else? Trevon Howard. Was that Trevon Howard?
Let's see. Maybe?
Who's number 45?
I think that's Trevon Howard.
I believe so.
Because Dorian Williams
Great
is 42.
And the Bills' defense, a lot of new pieces, new play caller, still performing really, really well. Play action fake here from Jimmy Garoppolo.
Pressure's coming.
A little bit of pressure. And that falls incomplete there, and that'll bring up 3rd and long.
We can tell right there. It's loud here at Highmark Stadium. Jimmy Garoppolo's got to cover the ears just so they can hear the play coming in. Absolutely insane here.
Jimmy Garoppolo. He's got plenty of time. He throws it up to his shortest receiver who isn't able to grab it. And that's going to bring a 4th down in their own territory. And they're going to have to punt it back to Buffalo.
Yeah. They will definitely be punting it here.
And the punt is off. A short punt here. Nyheim Hines is going to return this one, and that's going to be a pretty good game as he takes it over midfield. And Josh Allen will get his best starting position of the day at the Raiders' 48-yard line. He's had a really good game today, besides the forced fumble by Madden. we'll see if they're able to put some points on the board here.
Let's also not rule out that there at least has to be one interception. There's always an interception. At least one.
Bills look like they're going to run it here, and they do. James Cook maybe didn't follow his blocks appropriately.
Yeah.
Only picks up 2 on the play.
Well, they can't intercept it if you hand the ball off 100 times, right?
I was just thinking that.
How about we just keep doing that and trying to do what worked maybe at the beginning of the third quarter?
Josh is back in the gun. The Bills up 3 scores and are passing the ball. He throws it out to James Cook, who steps out of bounds for a loss of 2 on the play.
And right now, you're being forced into a passing situation. And look, this Raiders defense, they've tightened up.
I actually think that's what they wanted, was to work themselves into a passing situation.
Yeah.
Josh Allen drops back to pass. He has got all day, and he just overthrows Stephon Diggs, who's still able to make the catch, but not able to cut upfield. He picks up 4 on the play, but the Bills will probably punt it here, even though they have a kicker that is fully capable of making this field goal.
Oh, no, he's going to kick it. He's going to kick it. This makes that decision earlier in the game even crazier.
Even weirder. The kick is up, and it's no good.
No good? Let's see, how did he miss that one? Was it short?
It definitely would have made that in real life.
Yeah, no, that was... I don't even think... I don't know. Again, no, like, attributes or, like, ratings are adjusted in any of this stuff, so... Tyler Bass should have a 99 kick power, though. Like, that's...
Absolutely should. But you know, Madden underrates Tyler Bass.
Oh, yeah. It's because he wears the Grill Master 5s, you know, just to keep his feet super comfy.
So not very many points here in the second half. Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to find his man on the sideline. That's going to fall incomplete. And the quarterback play like this, you got to wonder why the Raiders wanted to move off from Derek Carr.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr could have gave you this game, right? I mean, this isn't anything crazy. I think this is just kind of a situation of a coach wanting to get one of their guys in, you know, and you have the opportunity to bring in a dude who you have familiarity with. You don't always get that whenever you're a newer coach, even though he's not that new of a coach, but in a new situation. So...
Raiders, 3rd and short here in Bills territory. Jacoby Myers in motion. Garoppolo's getting blitzed. He's going to find Devontae Adams before he's quickly tackled by second-year man Kyer Elam. Devontae Adams with his 6th reception of the game.
Devontae Adams just very, very quiet since that first quarter, really, where they were using him to set up those short running yard situations. So... you know, maybe right now, you know, settling back into that groove to see if you can attack this Bills defense that same way might pay dividends for the Raiders.
Trips right here for the Raiders. Garoppolo. He finds Jacoby Myers for a 5-yard pickup. That'll bring up 2nd and management. Here, as we approach the end of the third quarter, with just under a minute left, the Buffalo Bills lead by 3 scores. It's 27-10. 2nd and 5. Garoppolo is back to pass, and he finds his man Jacoby Myers on the sideline. That's a Raiders first down.
Yeah, and they're kind of rolling here, you know. A missed Tyler Bass field goal sets them up at the their own 48-yard line, but right now that's some of the best position they've had all game to start with.
Garoppolo, quick throw over the middle. That's going to be a completion to his tight end. Pretty good pickup there of 7. and they take it down just outside of the Bills' 10-yard line as we approach the end of the third quarter here. We'll see if they're going to get another playoff, but I doubt it. And it
No,
looks like they
this
will not.
will not.
End of the third quarter, Buffalo Bills 27, the Las Vegas Raiders 10. And just a dominant game by the Buffalo Bills, offensively and defensively. The Raiders had a really good drive in the second drive of the game and have been shut out since. Having a really good drive now, but we'll see if they can put points on the board. They fake it to Adams and give it to Jacobs, who follows his blocks perfectly. And that's a Raiders touchdown. And, hey, Jake, this game isn't over.
It is not. And seeing the AI of Madden on this running back actually do that, that's more surprising than anything. Him sitting there and waiting for those blocks to be set up. That's the most impressive thing I've seen all season.
I think he just ran into the defensive
I know, he just ran.
Offensive lineman.
He did.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're trying to give him credit.
I'm trying to give him just trying to give him some props, man.
The kick is up, and it is good. We got a 10-point game here in Orchard Park. So that field goal came in the fourth quarter, which means the third quarter only produced 3 points. Second quarter so far starts off with 3 points. We'll see if we get any more points put on the board. But you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league and one of the best offenses in the league coming back out onto the field. We'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Raiders, if their defense can just kind of keep the Buffalo Bills at bay like they kind of have the second half, you know, if they can just keep doing that and keep themselves in a position where it's a 10-point game, you know, this thing's far from over.
Nine Hives drop it down into the end zone and really bring it out to the 25-yard line. Josh Allen has had a pretty comfortable game so far. Hasn't made too many mistakes. He's been more of a game manager than anything, and he's also had some pretty good runs. We'll see what it looks like here in the second half, or I'm sorry, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, just like kind of how they've been utilizing their players, they've been spreading the ball all around.
Josh Allen. And Naeem Hines wasn't able to angle it correctly, and that falls incomplete. Josh Allen's 278 passing yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Maybe less touchdowns than we expected, but he's had a really efficient game.
He has too, and I mean the Bills' offense has just been absolutely dominating on the ground too. Last I checked, they had 198 yards of offense on the ground itself.
Dangerous throw there, but it's able to be caught there by Trent Sherfield. And again, Josh Allen just continuing his day of excellence.
You know, he fits that right in that tight window there to where the ball's already there and the defender turns around. So just great awareness there by Sherfield to be right where the ball needed, or right where the ball was going. And that's just great communication there between a wide receiver and his quarterback. And it is really crazy too that, you know, Josh Allen, not always brought up as someone who brings everybody else up around him, but you know, he does have that ability.
Josh Allen takes off and picks up 8, and he slides again, and that would be a pretty good game there on first down as Josh Allen is approaching the midfield. They're approaching the Raiders territory.
The Bills just went over 200 yards rushing in this game, so it's, you know, not a typical Buffalo Bills game, but it's not something you are mad to see.
James Cook on the rush, and he picks up a yard on the play and isn't able to pick up the first down, but they're working toward it to bring up 3rd inches.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just hand him the ball again.
Or 17 could fall right up the left side, but we'll probably hand it off. He picks up the first down and a little bit more, and he is approaching the Raiders territory as he's at the 49-yard line. Tillery on the tackle, And the Raiders need a stop here if they want to win this game.
And Sean McDermott likes to see this. He's an old school kind of guy, so that just being able to hand the ball off and kind of win with defense and running the ball down another team's throat is exactly the kind of coach that he is. He's definitely enjoying what he's seeing today out of this Bills running game.
1st and 10 from just beyond midfield. Josh Allen drops back to pass. He's got a 4-man rush, and he's not going to get away from it. Tillery with his 2nd tackle of the game. That's a loss of 4 on the play. And the Bills will face a 2nd and 14.
Yeah, and where exactly does he get beat from again? Oh, Spencer Brown's man right there. Just able to get around Spencer Brown and get right to Josh Allen. Seems to be a common thread here. Hopefully in real life, we don't see this, but at least Madden has no respect for Spencer Brown.
Josh Allen drops back to pass. He's got a quick throw over the middle. Looked a little dangerous, but throwing in the vicinity of 13, not too many bad things will happen. That'll make it 3rd and manageable.
And let's see, they're kind of in this situation. I would almost expect another pass over the middle of trying to, just attack. They've kind of had a little bit of success here recently with that.
And he do just that, right back to 13. It looks like we might also get a roughing the passer.
Might be off. Yep.
So 1st down and 15 yards on top. And that'll put the Bills just inside of the red zone at the 19-yard line.
So each team with 1 penalty, against them. You can say that the Bills one was a whole lot worse than the Raiders one right there, but still, you're just setting Josh Allen up in better territory. Dang!
Move by James Cook, who drags a couple other people. That was... Well, if he didn't have a 66-yard touchdown, that would have been the most impressive run of the night.
I don't know how many more Raiders he could have bounced off of, man. That was such a good run.
What a cut.
As the teammates are so excited on the side of the field, clapping for their teammate.
Great run there by 2nd-year man out of Georgia. And Josh Allen comes out at the Raiders' 8-yard line, 5 wide, pump fakes. He's running outside of the pocket. Spencer Brown got beat. He slides down at the 5-yard line. That's a pick of 3. Now bring up 2nd and goal.
Right here in these kind of situations, the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, they have the ability to take one of those nails and just put it right in the coffin right here. So we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Again, it's the Cook, who
and he's in.
Goes up the middle. That's a touchdown. James Cook, that's his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bills go back up by 17 points. 3 scores.
I mean, and you can see here the 2nd effort by James Cook. He was not going to get stopped before he went in the end zone. I mean, absolutely launched himself like a torpedo at that defender.
That is definitely targeting. You cannot do that in real life. Touchdown here for the Bills offense. Jake, no matter who you play on a week-to-week basis in this NFL, 34 points for your offense is pretty good.
It is. I think that last year they said that any team that scored above, I think it was like 30-something points, would have beat the Denver Broncos in every single game that they played. So
24 points.
24, even worse. Even worse. That's disgusting.
The kick is off. And the Raiders take it down to the 26-yard line. And, hey, Jimmy Garoppolo not looking hot today. This Raiders offense not looking hot today.
I mean, we brought it up at the beginning. You know, he was going to have his work cut out for him today, and this Bills defense is, you know, they're making him work for it. His last couple of drives, not the most successful, but they did get a Josh Jacobs touchdown last one. So, and he's got that X factor kind of getting ready there.
Bad throw there by Jimmy Garoppolo. He doesn't even have 2 yards passing. It's been a really, really rough day for Jimmy Garoppolo. You take a look at his career with Shanahan, excuse me, Kyle Shanahan, had a pretty decent, tenure there in San Francisco, but really wasn't the favorite or wanted there by Shanahan. He was constantly looking for a replacement. He got that big contract out of New England, and people thought he was going to be one of the next great quarterbacks, and he just hasn't panned out so far, Jake.
Not really. He made that one Super Bowl, but they lose that one to Kansas City. And outside of that, Jimmy Garoppolo, it's a very weird thing is we're going to get a great catch here by Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield. But Jimmy Garoppolo is one of those quarterbacks where he wins games, but you don't win because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, he is a quarterback that has to have all of the right pieces around him to really win games, and he's not going to lose you a game. But sometimes he is, occasionally going to have one of those boneheaded interceptions until inevitably he hurts his foot. So, it's just kind of the way it works with Jimmy G.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo is the poster child for game managing quarterbacks. He might be he's the definition of what a good game managing quarterback is. Good enough to take you to a Super Bowl if you have everything else around you, looking right. But also bad enough to where if you got complete trash around you, it's going to look like complete trash. And not really be able to game manage. So you kind of seeing a little bit of that today as he throws it to Jacoby Myers, who wasn't able to hold on to it. So, I mean, he is able to get over 200 yards on the Bills today, but he's only been able to put 17 points up on the board, 3.5 quarters, and they just haven't looked really good.
No, not really. And all those years too in New England where Tom Brady was a quarterback that everybody loved to label as a game managing quarterback is who is that? Jacoby Myers is going to catch it for a big gain over the middle of the field. Tom Brady was a game managing quarterback that Jimmy G sat behind and studied from, who elevated other players around him. Where Jimmy G is a game managing quarterback where he doesn't necessarily do that. That was kind of the difference there between those two guys, and why inevitably the New England Patriots decided to stick with Tom Brady.
Jimmy, 7-step drop. Passes to Austin Hooper. So both quarterbacks using their tight ends pretty significantly. Oh, excuse me, that was Michael Mayer, rookie tight end, who a lot of people thought that the Bills maybe should have drafted after taking the first tight end of the draft, but instead they elected for Utah sensation Dalton Kincaid. Mayer with 3 catches at 17 yards in this game so far.
And another first down there. We're really going to see, the Raiders, are they finally going to tune it up here, or are we kind of getting that Buffalo Bills defense that's just going to play back and just let you take all the little stuff in front of it now that we're up 17?
He finds, oh, wow. Josh Jacobs puts a man facing the dirt. However, the defender does his job. He gets him out of bounds for only a gain of 6 on the play.
So that's all that matters. It doesn't matter that your face mask now has a giant dirt mound stuck in it. As long as you got him out of bounds, that's your job.
Garoppolo just outside the outreached hands of Devontae Adams, and now to bring a third down as the Raiders are inside the Bills' red zone. You hear that third down train. This is a really big third down here, as they could make it a two-score game, and you preferably like it to be a touchdown and a field goal instead of 2 touchdowns.
Exactly. He's dropped, but there's the pressure.
There it is. Big Ed Oliver. That's the fourth-year man out of Houston. Former number 9 overall pick gets his first sack of the season.
And, man, he got paid, but he's still here to play. Look at that. Just going after bringing the heat down on Jimmy Garoppolo. And right there, looks like the Raiders are either going to have to be aggressive or just settle for 3 on this one.
Are being aggressive here.
I like it.
I maybe would have gone for a field goal here, but we'll see if they can convert. He's got plenty.
He's got time.
And throws Jacoby Myers, who was covered in the back of the end zone. It's just not a great day for the Raiders offense here.
No, and honestly, Jimmy G is a quarterback in real life, though, who will, when the pocket opens that much up, he will actually go and kind of scramble out a little bit and maybe go get that first down there or try to get it, because there was absolutely nothing open. The Bills secondary was absolutely smothering the Las Vegas Raiders wide receivers.
17 is on the field. The give is to James Cook, who found a hole up the middle. Gain of 3 on the play. And it's got to be super, super comfortable and convenient for these Bills to have such a consistent run game. The 17 can play off of instead of having to be the go-to guy for every single play.
Exactly. And they're going to take this clock all the way down every time as James Cook gets another big run. Finding a hole right there. Justus, he's having himself a day.
This is by far the best game of his career, as he just reaches 150 yards on the ground. Number 4 really out there looking like his older brother Dalvin.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see, especially from a second-year running back who's out of Georgia, where he didn't get very many miles put on his tires like a lot of college running backs do. And he already came out and said, he was like, no, I'm RB1. He's got that confidence about him. So you want to see this guy be able to come in and dominate teams like this.
Harrison, power formation. Gets no gain on the play as he's met in the backfield. James Cook back out onto the field. Reggie Gilliam, the lead blocker. Great play. Great run.
Great
as the Bills pick up 9 on the run.
Absolutely, just great execution from the Buffalo Bills offense. You know, not something we were seeing with a consistent basis last season. Now we're really seeing it as the Bills are just sitting here in absolute control of this game.
James Cook cannot replicate it as he's taken down in the backfield. Max Crosby has had a really, really quiet game today, but he gets the tackle there, and that'll force the Bills punt as they take it down under 4 minutes left for this game.
And I mean, that's exactly what you want. Even though you're winning and you'd like to get some more points on that drive, that's still a successful drive, being able to drive that amount of time down, leaving 4 minutes left, still with 3 scores. I mean, you've all but sealed your win almost here.
Barring a catastrophic meltdown by the Bills here, they're going to move to 2-0 on the season. So they've beaten a division rival with an all-time great quarterback, and they've beaten a team with really good offensive weapons. You know, the Raiders really do. Oh, a sack by Ed Oliver. takes
No,
it
they're gonna
down
put
to
him
the
in the wall.
1-yard line, and that's his second sack of the game. Jimmy Garoppolo just couldn't get out of harm's way and couldn't find anyone to throw the ball to. Everyone was covered.
Yeah, there was actually I saw a
He did
Raider
have an open guy.
standing right there. Just didn't have enough time before that Oliver got there. So, they're going to put him down at the 1-yard line, but I'm really expecting the Bills to put on the heat right here.
Madden cover athlete Josh Allen excited there, standing on the bleachers, hyping his crowd up. And the Raiders get 1 yard there on second down. And it's going to be 3rd and 23 from their own 2-yard line, down by 17. What do you even do in this predicament, Jake?
Say a prayer. I don't know. At this point,
the win probability has got to be somewhere in like the 10% now.
Maybe we run a play like that.
7 yards on the play to make it 4th and 16. Do you go for it here, or do you just admit defeat?
I would say go ahead. Why not go for it? But I fully expect them to punt this ball away.
It's actually, I'm not even sure what they do, and they do like to punt the ball away. All but conceding the game here.
Yep.
The punt is away. Naeem Hines will have an opportunity to return this one. And he gets a pretty good return there, actually. Heading out to the 43-yard line, and the Bills are in Raiders territory, but it doesn't matter. They'll probably run a few quick plays and end this one, especially with the way James Cook has been running. They can't seem to stop him, so one more first down, and after the 2-minute warning, this game's over.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, the Bills have just had a overall great, spread, balanced offensive attack today, whether it comes through the air or on the ground. And that man right there, James Cook, has been a huge part of it. I think that's at 22 yards, 160 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. Have yourself a day.
And you can go to NFL.com or BuffaloFAMbase.com, and you can vote James Cook as the FedEx ground player of the game. Hey, and maybe even vote Josh Allen as the FedEx air player of the game. Naeem Hines gets the carry there on second down, and that's another gain of 2 on the play. Then we got 3rd and 6, and do you think they just run it here and maybe punt it back to the Raiders, or do you try to pick up this first down to end the game?
I would assume they're probably just going to try to take as much time off the clock as possible and punt it back.
They take it down to the 2.
He drops
actually
back.
Do, and they get a screenplay that not only stops the clock but fails once again. And you guys can see again another example of why the screenplay never works. Tyler Bass comes onto the field, but they might punt this one away. Oh, Tyler Bass.
Nope, he's going to kick it.
57-yard attempt for Tyler Bass here. This one's up. That one's no good as well.
No good. Let me guess. Short again.
Nope,
no, that was just
wide left.
Wide left.
So the Madden clearly doesn't know who Tyler Bass is or his jacket, because they got my man effed up right now. But Jimmy Garoppolo comes back onto the field, and he seems to be in a hurry, like he thinks that they actually have a chance to win this game.
Oh, yeah, man.
And 11 left.
They're still in it. They're still in it, didn't you know?
That's what they look like.
I mean, Josh Jacobs has had like that X factor for like the last two drives, and they've barely utilized it at all.
Great throw there to Archer Renfro over the middle, and the Raiders need 35 yards to make this a 2-possession game. And they come out
going no huddle.
Garoppolo drops back. He throws it over the middle to Devontae Adams, who picks up 8 or 9 on the carry. It's gonna go no huddle again here. Oh no,
No,
they
they just
wait.
waited and used a timeout.
Okay, so they let 8 seconds run off the clock before they use the timeout here.
All right, they just don't want
This
us
is
to
tough on
start
board.
packing up and heading home. Trying to trying to keep us here as long as
Many
possible.
many Bills fans have already hit the exits. this
They're
game,
gone.
this
They're
game was
they're
over a
back
little
drinking
while
in the
ago.
parking lots again.
Yeah, literally. And a great throw there to Devontae Adams as he takes it down to the 13-yard line. And that'll be a Raiders first down here with just under 30 seconds to play.
I guess maybe they just want this touchdown for pride. You know, hold your be like, hey, we were still in a 10-point game with the Bills.
And the give is back to Devontae Adams, and they'll call a timeout here.
They
So
really
they
want it.
really want to put points on the board here.
Yep. If you're the Bills, I know this defense, they probably could care less. They know they're already thinking about what they're gonna do later in the day. What are they getting for dinner? You know.
I think the defense wants to stop him. I don't think they want those points, on their ledger. As he
Oh,
intercepts him at the 1 yard
he's
line.
taking it the distance.
And Josh Jacobs is really fast. Oh, he stops Devontae Adams. Oh, he got it.
What a way to end it.
Taylor Rapp with an interception at the 1 yard line to finish the game. Wow.
Talk about an absolute blow. Wow, they came down, they wanted those points bad, and Taylor Rapp said no. We're not letting that happen, and takes it all the way to the house, and now I think we can pack it up.
So now instead of 24-34, the final score will end up being 17-41.
Wow.
14-point swing. That just doesn't look great on the resume. 24-34 loss to the Bills. That doesn't look too bad. 41-17 loss to the Bills.
You got blown out. You got blown out. That's what happened. So, man.
So Josh McDaniels continues to make bad decisions. And the Raiders lose one. And the game was a lot closer than the score would tell you. But the Bills were in command and in control the entire way.
You can only make so many mistakes and still have a chance to win the game. And Jimmy Garoppolo making the ultimate one right there.
A nice return there as he takes it out to the 27-yard line. 1 second left in the game. You'll see a quick play here, and then we'll announce the Bills becoming 2-0 at the top of the AFC East and at the top of the AFC Conference. They've got a division win and a conference win here versus two people thought are contenders early in the season, in the Raiders and the Jets. We'll see how that shakes out in real life. But a really good showing both weeks here from the Bills, offense and defense.
100%. And, this is kind of what you want to see early on, especially with some newer players on the team. You're hoping to be able to have some sort of success with them, even though they're in a brand new offense and defense. So, we've got exactly what we needed here. It's been an absolutely awesome game, and it's been a pleasure to call it for everybody.
Absolutely. We have fun every single week that we do these. You guys love it, and we love that you love it. Thank you guys so much for all of your support as the Bills beat the Raiders here 41-17. Josh Allen has a phenomenal game. James Cook has a phenomenal game. Just all around dominance here for the Buffalo Bills offense.
And of course, you can catch the Buffalo Bills and us next week as the Buffalo Bills take on the Washington Commanders.